I wish for one thing. Results.
What's up, everybody? Yes, we are back with a new masterclass after a little time out, preparing some new content and starting the year strong. So you can expect now a normal return of the weekly masterclasses. And for the coming weeks, we're going to be covering most of the strategic aspect of the game, which are the rotation between the rings, the different strategy while doing so, if you're playing for position or if you're playing for edges, and therefore some proper implementation of gatekeeping, and obviously some handling notions in order for you to capitalize to the maximum on the decision making you will be doing during the different rings, and make as much RP as possible while winning the game and getting as much kills and assist as possible. So most of the situations you're gonna encounter in those examples are mostly will happen during ranked games. It might also happen in pubs in case you have to gatekeep a sweaty or unpleasant / annoying squad, or encountering some extremely sweaty last squads who are gonna make you last until the very end ring, which is extremely rare in the pubs. I don't remember personally ever played a round 7 in the pubs in a long time. In any case, it's important for you to acquire and master those situations, awareness and skills, as it will only make you a better lasting squad or teammate and able to stack up the wins. So a successful rotation in Apex is being able to successfully go from point A to point B without being armed or losing some of your teammates, or literally having all your squad being deleted. Since Season 16, Caustic, his Legend class, has now the ability and responsibility to scan for the next rings. So those new changes are going to have an impact directly on the comps that you're going to be able to run and on your choice of the legends. So if you have the chance to play with a full squad, I would recommend for you to have some squads being able to give you a lot of mobility during those rotations. It's going to help a lot, such as Wrath and Pathfinder nodes, since they get quite interesting buff this season. Or you can use the classic Valkyrie rotations that has yet been proven extremely efficient. So yes, you're gonna rely heavily on your teammates during those rotations. Why? Because Caustic doesn't have much outdoor capabilities, even though we have proven that he can be quite efficient and lethal during a fight. Those are mostly third parties and control environments. However, when you're going to be in a rotation and taken between the ring, a squad on your way and a squad at your back, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to handle those kind of situations. Therefore, having the abilities to have a quick rotation in and out from a place with a side support from a legend with high mobility capabilities is going to be extremely useful. So if you don't have this chance, and for example you're just playing with randoms, you're gonna have to anticipate those moves, whether in pubs or in ranks, in order for you to adapt your rotations and timing. For instance, the moment you scan the next ring, start a very early rotation to where you believe the end ring is gonna be, in order to consolidate a place there and loot on your way. Or simply acknowledge that you will not be able to get a good position in the ring and play edges, or even consolidate your resources by staying outside the ring, surviving until round 3, and then assess the options that will be available to you. Keep in mind as well, if you like to lane hot, that you might end up being severely contested. In which case you might lose some teammates on the way already, or even if you win the fight end up with a great loot, but being totally late in order to rotate and end up out of positions for the later engagement. So you need to decide your strategy from the beginning. What I usually recommend is safe landing with a quick loot and then pick up fights on your way, or gather enough intel and resources in order to get the most advantageous position toward the last circles and grab your kills during those moments. So as a caustic main, during rotations, I would highly suggest not to engage fights. Why? Because if you're the one who are gonna engage the fight, you might first be at a disadvantage if the other legends comp have more outdoor and mobility capabilities than your own squad. And second, if you are the one who engage an open fight, you might be very likely to get the third party, rather than you being a third party engaging into a fight in the open, which is a completely different situation. So when you're rotating, you need to find the most secure way in order for you to reach your destination, if I may say, and capture the building that you want to take. In that case, having some legends with scanning capabilities like Crypto or Seer or Blood Hunt to let you know if the place or not is taken, and if so, decide if it's a fight you can take and a building you can capture, or if you have other solutions and open in front of you, like taking a side building, maybe not the best one to defend, but at least it will be the most adequate at the moment, in order for you not to get third party by, for example, squads around you who will attack you if you try to capture this building and fight another squad, or being unable to go inside the building and being melted off at the same time by multiple squads outside the building you're gonna attack and melt you down with long-range weapons, for instance. So large-scale rotations from the early rings should be straightforward and extremely swift in order for you to encounter the minimum amount of squads on your way, or pick up some quick third parties and build some KP. After that, when you reach the final destination, I will say, is basically the place where the end ring is 99% gonna happen. You might have to walk your way into smaller rotations, which is building to building, if you want to acquire much better real estate, or even sometime macro rotations when multiple squads are in the same building and you're gonna have to attack a different floor, or fight a different squad on the rooftop or at the bottom of the building, in order for you to secure a better place and a better positioning. In those cases, those will be considered as macro rotations. If, however, you haven't been lucky on your early rotation, rather due to a rough start, or simply because the end ring is gonna be at the total opposite direction of your landing spot, and you have no choice but to play edges, you can apply the same strategy by simply moving buildings to buildings and consolidate some defenses through those buildings, even though you know they are going to be temporary, because you'll have to abandon them eventually on the next rings. But at the time being, it will give you enough protection and sustainability in order to assess those fights and find alternative routes in some cases. Always remember, when you are playing edges with Caustic, you need to be extremely reactive. Most of the squads who are playing edges are usually kill thirsty and extremely aggressive, or are some squads who didn't manage to rotate properly, and therefore consider that taking fights, even sometime to an extent that they might even die in the ring as well, might happen. So once you find alternative solutions to those rotation, also remember that sometimes, because you go around a place, doesn't mean that first the squad who is gatekeeping you might not anticipate that move and wait for you on the other side, but also always keep in mind that just because you go to another place, another direction, doesn't mean that it is going to be a safe journey. So always stay aware and expect meeting other enemies and turn those unfortunate or unexpected situations into opportunities. In general, basically the type of rotation you're gonna take are gonna be obviously decided by the ring position and from where you're landing, as well as the teammates you're gonna play with, who will be deciding your playstyle toward a more safe, quick rotation, lockdown approach, or a more aggressive, edges, outside the ring fights and engagement situational. Another important rule also is to stay together as much as possible. It's important that you make your friends or teammates who have mobility capabilities understand that they need to benefit the entire squad from those abilities, and on the same side and fairness, they need to also be able to benefit from your defensive capabilities, even in relatively open spaces, in order to do a quick healing stop it and be able to resume the rotations. When things don't necessarily go your way, utilize those small moments in order for you to get out of what I call this kind of state of limbo, where you're basically running for your life like a beheaded chicken all over the map, and sometimes losing touch with your teammates, and raise a strong voice, take a small breathing whenever you can, and reset in order to go to a new favorable position, rather a different building or a different area where we'll get cover, reassemble your squad, heal properly, and then clear out this unpleasant feeling that you have, knowing that if you keep running, you might actually end up on another squad and make things even worse. And once you're able to totally reset that in your mind and within your teammates' capabilities, then resume the clear rotation path that you had in mind, and continue toward your goal. Last but not least, when you manage to overcome all those challenges and having an extremely good position toward the ring, being able to scan doesn't necessarily means that you have to go directly to the next ring. You need to also anticipate what is the best position in the current ring and where is going to be the best position in the next one, and not necessarily go for early rotation toward the next ring, but play to always your most advantageous position. So in a nutshell, rotations with Caustic. Early rotation, greater rewards. As soon as you scan for the next ring, be on your way and try to get the most advantageous position. Comp adaptation, you're going to be depending a lot of your teammate mobility capabilities or the map in some cases. Adapt and survive. Plan for the unexpected. Rotation will be the situations where you're going to be the most vulnerable, so always have a plan B in mind in case they don't go your way. Finally, early birdish, knowing the last ring position doesn't necessarily mean you have to go there too early. Sometimes it's better to pace your approach. And to finish this masterclass with a usual gameplay example, I'm gonna, however, fast forward this part in order for you to see better the type of rotation I decided to take during this game. And luckily the randoms I was playing with followed the pings, and we managed to succeed. So basically what happened is we were quite convinced that this was gonna be the end ring. However, since we were there quite early, and this building having only one floor with two doors is quite open and easy to attack but hard to defend. Basically what happened is we decided to move out of the what it's called God spot defend temporarily a place quite nearby and easy to be able to regain position to the building we left, and come back later on at a much smaller ring scale in order for us to retake the building if it was taken. I think luckily it wasn't in that situation, but also allowing us to defend it much better, knowing that the ring at that time was going to be smaller, and therefore if any squad's going to try to attack and take it from us, they might most likely being attacked as well by other squads outside. I also left some gas trap there and made sure that the place we were going to take, I was not going to put too many gas traps in order to keep the other ones on the place we left, which will give us an easy indicator if the place was going to be attacked or not, or even dissuade any squad from coming inside if they think there is a caustic inside, for example. So after a few minutes, and when the ring started to shrink down, and we evaluated that was the right time to regain position in the building, we just went back there and then establish a proper lockdown this time of the building, knowing that we'll be able to defend it properly, and if we get any squads attacking us, we'll get more likely support from other enemy squads outside. Voilà, I hope this masterclass will help you work out those transitions and rotation toward the final circles. And I'll be seeing you next week, hopefully, with a new masterclass.
Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, just want a life that is worth every day exploring, My whole life I just wanted